All right. We are going to discuss what has recently launched as of Monday, which is the Flames Rising NIL Collective. We've gathered a bunch of questions from offline and emails, and we just kind of wanted to talk about what this collective was and why we're doing it, and and everything that goes in with this NIL collective to try to help answer some questions. I have with me creator, founder, all things A Sea of Red, John Manson. He has been an integral part in building a platform that we think is the perfect vehicle for a collective. So yeah, we'll jump right into it. John, I will talk about what a collective is. So a collective is basically it takes fans and donors money contributions and puts them all together in one bucket, and it's a collective. That's what the term collective means. It takes all of the money and puts it into one bucket, and then that collective is responsible for distributing the funds to athletes in the most impactful way. So the difference between an NIL deal with an individual company and a collective is the collective takes all the money, and then we have an advisory committee. We'll talk about that in a minute. But basically, what a collective is it takes all of the fans and donors and anybody who wants to support Liberty in this way and have an impact with athletes. It puts it all into one bucket, and then the collective is responsible for distributing those funds to the athletes in the most impactful way possible. So, John, why an NIL collective? I mean, the college landscape is changing. Why at this time are we trying to do an NIL collective, and why is it so impactful?
Well, I mean, the main reason is because we want to help Liberty to continue to be competitive on a national landscape, and I mean that's kind of the whole point behind a Sea of Red to begin with, and an NIL collective, that's something that you see every Power Five team's got them. Several G5 teams and mid-major teams have them as well, and it's something that we believe is integral to letting Liberty continue this rise that we've seen over the past few years. I mean, as we see, with the transfer portal and recruiting and things like that, is in order to be competitive and to be able to really to hold on to most of your key contributors on your major teams each and every year. You need to be competitive and you need to be a player in the NIL market space, and doing it on individual basis, on an individual level between business to athlete, like you see in the influencer exchange that Liberty's already created, is helpful. But a collective can help take it to another level, and that's what we're hopeful to do. So that's kind of the thought behind it, and we've had several conversations with Liberty Athletics, from the athletic director Ian McCaw to head coaches in various sports, several of the sports we've talked to, and obviously also Liberty compliance and marketing and Flames Club and all of them as well. They're all on board and behind this Flames Rising collective and support us, and we're looking forward to letting this be able to be a key vehicle to help support the Flames athletic programs.
Yeah, I think as we go forward, like you said, for recruiting and things like that, and just having having everyone know that we have this particular avenue to support athletes and make their experience at Liberty a little bit better is very important, especially in today's day and age. So, how will it work? How will it work? And as folks get onto our website, you can see down there, aseaofred.com/NIL. That is the current place where you'll be able to make a contribution through our LLC that we have set up, Flames Nation LLC. So if it's a business expense, it can be an expensed that way. We are working on the 501c3 option, which will be a donation to a charitable organization, a nonprofit. So you'll get the tax benefits. We are about 2 months off from that or so, but we will have that option. So you donate through those avenues, and then it all goes into one bucket. We have an advisory committee. It's of 5 people who basically are going to use charter guidelines. What that means is we've set up certain percentages to go to certain sports. and just kind of that advisory committee will be integral in deciding which athletes get paid, and who can have the most impact. It is going to be a market driven fund, which is a term that basically means, we're going to focus on what can have the most impact for Liberty University and growing the athletics department. We're focusing mainly on revenue generating sports. So, but that advisory committee of 5 people will help us get along that path of distribution of the funds, and we've set up basically some different percentages to go to different sports. And then once you get to each individual sport, there's a different plan for basketball than there will be for football, than there will be for baseball, than there will be for other sports. And that's just because of the number of athletes on the team. I mean, football has 85 athletes, basketball has 15 if you count walk-ons. Football actually has more than 85. That's 85 scholarships. And then what can make an impact? What amount of money can make an impact versus are we spreading it too thin? Which athletes, are they good ambassadors of the program? Are they key contributors? Are they somebody that recruits would be looking up to? That type of thing. And there's a whole list of reasonings behind who will get paid, and that's just really what the advisory committee is set up for, so that way it's not just one person deciding who gets what, and it's all kind of laid out there in that charter and in those guidelines. So that's really how it's going to work. Is we are going to, as we get into it, we'll have other fundraising campaigns, such as a major gift campaign where we have a target and we try to raise a certain number of money, and everybody gives a major gift, to monthly subscriptions. Everything like that is how we're looking towards in the future. I know that was been a question I've gotten a lot, John. But right now it's just give what you can to get this thing kicked started, and let's get our coaches, especially our new head coach in football, Jamie Chadwell, the resources he needs. He's out there on the recruiting trail right now, and I'm sure he's running into, hey, what NIL do you have for me? That is a question that some players are going to be asking going forward. And to somebody like me and you, that kind of feels weird, because you're not allowed to pay athletes and things like that. And let me also state here, in the how it works is, this how we plan to use the fund, and how the charter is set up right now, and the guidelines with the advisory committee is set up, is the fund will be used mostly for retention and current athletes. So athletes that have come here who have contributed. You can't pay for play. That's not what I'm saying. Basically, um, it's going to be to retain and to provide a better athlete experience, college athlete experience for current Liberty athletes. So at this time, it's not being used for recruiting. However, saying that, the recruits come on campus on their visit, and they're on their visit with the star football player, the star basketball player. They're going to ask, "Hey, are you getting NIL money?" Yes, I am. So it will be very helpful in recruiting, tremendously helpful in recruiting. But as far as getting into bidding wars for recruits, like, hey, there's this running back, it's going to cost us $40,000. We're not getting into any of that. We're basically working with current Liberty athletes. It just gets a little gray with compliance and recruiting. So we're just, and then also just with locker room, culture and things, we're trying to be really protective of. I know our coaches are. So we feel at this time it's best to just work on retention and kind of providing a better experience for our current athletes. So, John, any other go over the additional information there and see what other questions you've been getting.
Yeah, and I just piggyback on what you kind of said is, in talking to, athletic administration, Eden McCall, several head coaches in various sports at Liberty, they're right on board with us. They're not looking at this as a recruiting tool. It's more a retention, just like you spoke about, and improving that athlete experience while you're at Liberty. I mean, you have a guy like Darius McGee who could have gone out and got a 6-figure NIL deal likely, but he chose to stay at Liberty because of what Liberty is and what Liberty represents and who he is and who he represents. So those are the type of athletes that are primarily at Liberty and on Liberty's campus, and that's what we're looking to just kind of make it worth their while a little bit more, one more feather in the cap, and having something like Flames Rising and an NIL Collective is just another tool in the belt of those head coaches when they're recruiting. So you can go to seared.com/NIL to read more information. We also you can go there to make your contributions. You can start as low as $20. We've had people jump in at $20. We've had people jump in, with several $1,000 contributions already. Several businesses have and donors have stepped in already in a big way to help get this thing kick started. And so every little bit helps. If we get 100 people to provide $50 or $100, that goes a long way to kicking this collective off. But we've also started a Twitter account. It's at Flames Rising NIL, so you can go on there and retweet that, share that. Recruits see that. Recruits are very active on social media, so if they can go on there and say, "Oh, Liberty's got a collective," well, that's just something else that they can be aware of. So seared.com/NIL. You can also, if you have any specific questions, you can reach out to myself or Chad through social media or text, email, any other ways that you've been able to reach us in the past. You can also email us at business.asor@gmail.com. That's a Gmail account we've set up for this purpose. So we've already gotten questions there and continue to send those in. We're happy to help you out there. And we've also had, we've had people, Chad kind of touched on it briefly there, but some that might say, "Hey, I want to give X dollars, but I want this to go to Y sport." If you want it to go to baseball or to men's basketball or women's basketball or softball or lacrosse or whatever the sport is, you can reach out to us there, business.asr@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to speak with you there. So we're really excited about getting this off the ground and running, and look for a lot more ways to come. This has already been in the works for the last month or two. We've already reached out and have several agreements with student athletes at Liberty, several different sports. So be looking out for more from them. And, really excited about this and think this is something that can help Liberty continue to rise and get to that next level of being one of the top non-Power 5 teams in the entire country.
Yeah, so a couple things that I've thought of, and you hit on one there. What if you want to give to a specific sport? So everything that's given goes to the general fund unless you otherwise specify, and we're set up to do that. If you want to give to a specific sport, please indicate that through an email or message one of us. Let us know that that's what you're doing. We've already had several contributions that way to go to specific sports, and I'm sure coaches of those sports, if you're watching, listening to this, direct folks that are interested in your sport or excited about your sport in that way, and I think that that'll be really useful. Another thing is, another question we've gotten is about how much of this goes to the athletes. At this time, 91%, at least 91%, is going directly to athletes. The other 9% is helping with our overheads, our general and administrative costs, such as a CPA, legal advice, all the things we had to do to get set up, service fees for when you make a payment through PayPal or something and it takes a service fee. We're using that 9% to cover all of our costs in that way. The other 91% goes directly to the athletes. That is huge. If you look across industry standard, that is one of the lower ones I've seen in all the collectives that we've researched and kind of built off of. And that is because A Sea of Red is the perfect platform vehicle for this. We're already built for this. And so we felt like we could do this a little bit cheaper than maybe somebody else could. So even more bang for your buck with the athletes there in that way. And I guess I would just say the impact. What impact can this have? John, and if you guys have could hear some of the conversations we're having with coaches, uh, this is the first question they're asking. This is the first question recruits and coaches and potential coaches and everybody are asking, and that is, what kind of NIL do you have? And you know what? To be the top resourced program in the country in the G5 mid major, it takes an NIL collective. It takes an NIL collective. You already have Flames Club, which is great, and we're doing a great job to support that. Is this a competition with Flames Club? Absolutely not. Mike Hagan, director of Flames Club, we'll have him on sometime. But the way he views it is you don't get the same benefits if you enjoy your parking, if you enjoy your tickets, if you enjoy all that priority that you get through Flames Club. Keep giving to Flames Club. This is above and beyond that. Or if you're not enjoying those benefits of Flames Club, so in no way is this stealing from, taking from, in competition with Flames Club. This is in addition to. Some other questions we've gotten are, well, how will we know the impact or which players are getting paid? John and I are going to do an annual report out. We'll probably do one early fall, to basically say this is how much was raised, this is how much was paid to which sport, and we'll have some success stories in there, like, we were able to retain this athlete or what have you. So we definitely plan on reporting out exact dollar amounts as we get into it, and plan to do that. And 501c3, that information is public anyway. So anything that's donated to that particular account with the 501c3 will be public information as well. So just trying to be very transparent with the fees and what all they're for. John, did I miss anything with that, or got anything else to add?
Yeah, I think we kind of covered it all. I just provide a little bit more color on the advisory board. Chad kind of touched on that. There is a 5-person advisory board that is set up, and it's not just me, Chad, and a couple of our buddies. Although these guys are our friends, but they're Liberty supporters, Liberty Athletics supporters, Flames Club members. Businessmen in the industry, and so it's myself, Chad, and 3 others that are not affiliated with the Sea of Red in any other way. They are supporters of a Sea of Red, and we've gotten to know them through a Sea of Red. But they're kind of going to lead, along with Chad and myself, lead and guide and direct where these funds go. It's not like we can get X dollar amount into the fund and Chad and I just go to the Bahamas for the week. That's not going to be happening. We have an advisory board committee set up, and we'll be reporting to them frequently what's going on. And then also, like Chad said, we're going to have an annual report issued, even an annual meeting we've talked about, where we go over the financials, how much was given, and how much was given to the athletes, and what sports were they affected, how many athletes did we touch, and so this is a way that your dollar goes a long way in supporting Liberty Athletics and the student athletes, and like I said, we couldn't be more thrilled about this, and looking forward to see it continue to grow, and the impact it can have on the Flames.
Yeah, and lastly, I would say people have asked me several times, what is our goal? What's our dollar amount? What are we looking for? And to be honest with you, this is brand new. I'm not I do forecast for a living for projects that I work on through my work. That's part of my job, is prognostication of those dollars. This is not one that I am comfortable like saying. I don't know. Honestly, my goal with this, and John, I think you would echo this, and all of administration, is to be the top G5 mid major. So go around, look at what SMU is doing, look at what every other G5 mid-major program is doing. Go look at Grand Canyon, what they were able to do for their basketball team. Go look at that, and that's my goal. Okay, so what they're able to accomplish at those universities, I think we can and will and should be able to do better here at Liberty, with our passionate fan base, with donors jumping on board. And so far, the excitement and the feedback we've gotten has exceeded my expectations so far to kick us off. So we got a lot of work to do in terms of the monthly subscriptions, the fundraising campaigns and things that we'll be putting together, and you'll see coming in the future. But I'm really excited with the 3 weeks that we've been working on this, where we've gotten it to, and I appreciate everybody watching this, wanting to learn more. And you think, man, I'm only giving $20. Listen, if 500 of you that watch this video give $20, that's very impactful. And if you're thinking, hey man, I what benefit am I getting of it? Why should I give my $20,000 to this? Give me a call. If that's you, if you're in between the $5,000 and $20,000 range, and you want some type of benefit, or you're wondering why would you rather do this than some other avenue to support, give me a call and let's talk about it. Or you can always find me at, like John said, business.asor@gmail.com, social media, phone number a lot of you have. So please reach out if that's you. If you're really considering making a major impact in this way, we'd love to talk to you and give you some more specific details. But I don't want to discount that every dollar helps. And I've talked to a lot of fundraising experts over the last 2 weeks who have kind of guided me along this path here. And this is not something I have had experience with in the past. And the one thing that everybody says is every single dollar counts. The way our system is set up for service fees and things like that, $20 is the minimum, but every $20 donation helps. So if you're watching this, please consider giving that $20. And if you're upwards in that couple $1,000 range, make sure you reach out if you want more information. So, John, you got anything else?
SierRed.com/NIL to get more info and also contribute, and also follow us and share us on Twitter, Flames Rising NIL, and continue to support this cause as we support the Flames.
I have one more thing. I do this every time. Just as important as the money that is in this account and contributed to the athletes is the promotion of the money that's in this account. That's because everybody recruits high school kids. Everyone needs to know that we have this and we're working on this. So a retweet, a comment, anything you can do on this YouTube video or this video, wherever you're watching it, to help promote, to let every high school kid in America know, hey, Liberty has a successful NIL collective. That goes a long way too. So the money is really important, but also is the promotion of the NIL fund just for perception with athletes and in recruits and current athletes that are thinking about entering the portal and everything like that. So, all right. Thank you, everyone. And if you have any questions, please reach out.